Welcome to Happiest Places Home, the interior design channel. I'm Suzanne, an interior designer and your hostess. I have brand new Pottery Barn dupes for you in this video. The stunning original that's new for spring and the extra stunning dupe where you can save some money. Let's start with the first one and jump right in. The first item I wanted to show you that's new from Pottery Barn is this bird centerpiece. It's a votive holder. It's very wide, so it makes the statement on the table for sure. It's 28.5 inches wide. This is $149, and it's one of a few things at Pottery Barn that are new with a bird motif. But I decided to do this one because I found such a great deal on something that you could definitely also use as a centerpiece. But you can use it as a decorative sculpture on a coffee table or, a number of things, your dresser. So let's take a look. As I was searching for this, I knew I wanted to look at the at-home store because there was a crane sculpture last spring that you went gaga over, and the dupe was from At Home. It was such a steal. So I decided to look there and I found this beautiful piece. It's their gold medal bird decor item. It's $22. Now, the Pottery Barn piece is not made of brass and neither is this. They're both made of metal. At 16 inches wide, this really is going to take over the area that it's in. One of the things that I like better about this than the Pottery Barn is that it's not a candle holder. So in that case, you can put one of your decorative scented candles next to it, kind of nestled toward the middle, and everything's like shifted a bit, if you know what I mean. And then you could put something taller like a vase behind it. I wanted to sneak something else in here. I feel like this piece that I spotted while I was looking for the previous one looks like something by the designer Michael Aram, and his things are very expensive. It's found at Bloomingdale's and Saks. I've shown you a few of his things before, I think, more at the holidays. But this looks like it would be something in that collection, and in this case, it's $39.99. This is 4 pounds, so it is a substantial piece. Now, it's a decorative bowl, so even though it looks like it would be the most fun fruit bowl, it's going to be something that you're just decorating with, and well worth it, I think. It looks so expensive. So I wondered if you like that piece too, but I just thought I would sneak it in. By the way, it also looks like a centerpiece that Pottery Barn had before this bird one that was more leafy and twiggy. Dachshund decorative pieces are very in style. Pottery Barn has this one. It is a super long version, so it looks kind of, avant-garde and artsy. This one is $54.50, so not that expensive for a decorative object at Pottery Barn, but and it's fun. I think it's kind of tongue-in-cheek in a way. But I found one for you that is less money and I think a little prettier. I spotted this Dachshund at Anthropologie. It's their bronze medal decorative object, $22. And I think it's just a little bit cuter and sweeter. There is a photo I have in here showing it from the back end, and I mean, they put it there, so I put it in. But you can tell that it is a high quality sculpture all around. So I thought I would show you that. But it's a really cute piece. Do you like the Anthropologie better or the Pottery Barn? You'll have to let me know in the comments. While we're on this dog topic, I have something to share with you. This is Lady Barkington. I'm sure that you guys have seen her in videos before. She is a Cavalier Bichon Yorkie mix. We had her tested to see, and I think you can see the Cavalier in these ears. But a lot of you ask about her and what breed she is, so I thought I would tell you. She's been performing acts of twinkle toes on the ice outside this week. We have a foot of snow and she's managing to make her way across it to go to the bathroom in her normal spots. It's been a little nerve-wracking. And speaking of that, the sponsor of today's video is a 24/7 veterinary service called Dutch can handle 90% of my little ladies or your pets' issues, and they can also prescribe meds. They get you 20% off of flea and tick products. And what's nice is when something comes up, because things could with Miss Lady. She has an issue, and it's been diagnosed by our vet previously and by a specialist. But there are scary moments where she has something that seems like a seizure, and it's frightening. And afterwards, sometimes there are immediate questions. And it's nice to have a resource out there that you can contact and speak with a vet right away. And you can also, once you have your appointment with that vet, do follow-ups. There's no charge for these because you're just paying an annual fee. Telemedicine for your little one in your household, or up to 5 of them, because one annual membership covers up to 5 pets. To any of you who are interested in giving Dutch a whirl and finding out more, I've got a QR code right here where you can go directly to their site. Thank you very much, Dutch. Pottery Barn was really heavy in on the sea glass beads that you would use decoratively. And this spring, they have the green glass beaded rope. It's $49.50, 34 inches. You'll notice that the beads are just plain glass, but then they have like a ridge in them, kind of a scalloped look. Well, I found an alternative where you're getting kind of a longer length overall and something that looks a little more coastal, which is where these things came from the beginning. So let's look. At Michael's, you're going to get 2 of the pieces for about the same price, and I thought that was really fun. These have wooden beads as well as the glass, and I like that you're getting 2 because I do feel like sometimes when you're weaving this in a design, if it ends up being too short, it just looks weird. Or if you're kind of extending it out of a bowl for the decorative purpose and it's not long, like let's say if it's draped over a book out of that bowl and it's just barely touching the table, it just looks kind of weird. But I also like the shade of green on these better. This is the one Pottery Barn item I'm going to show you that's not brand new, but I thought I would show it to you because it does have an extremely coastal look. Something about that pattern makes it look like it's something out of the ocean, but it also is used in coastal looking designs that Pottery Barn has had. This isn't an old piece by any means, but it's just not brand new for spring. So this is their bodega round coffee table, and it's $599. I found one that looks so similar. Let's look. This drum coffee table is from At Home. It's very similar, do you agree? It's made of wood, great, and then it has a whitewash on it, and that's what makes it look kind of coastal. It also looks boho, but I think the whole intention of this is a more coastal sort of thing by At Home. So with 6 inches less in diameter, it can make a difference. And I'll tell you something that kind of came up last week. Having a table that is too small can destroy a design to a certain extent. Now, I feel like people do make the wrong assessment, and they always choose a smaller table, whether it's a coffee table, whether it is your bedside table, or occasional tables. But alternatively, people will choose a dining table often that's too big. So just have that in the back of your mind when you're picking them. It's something that everybody does, so it wouldn't just be you. I have a photo coming up of a Pottery Barn sofa, and the coffee table happens to be too big for that sofa. Just saying, and you'll see it coming up shortly. There were a lot of photos of this particular coffee table at Home. They have had it for a little while, and you're seeing some holiday images, which are cute, but think of this more as something that's a bit more coastal, summery. This is the coffee table I was referring to, but the purpose of this photo is not the coffee table. It's to show off as many pieces from their partnership with Cravette. So Pottery Barn and Crevette are partners and have been, I guess, for, would it be a year? But the spring items are very blue, green. There's a lot of chinoiserie, and that's what we're going to do first. We're going to look at this blue vase, and it looks like Pottery Barn's Montrose collection, except that it's a polished chinoiserie vase. And I love the shape, the color, I'm sure a lot of you are excited about, but I have such a good substitute for this. This one's from At Home as well. Not all of the dupes in this video are from At Home. I think you've noticed there was an Anthropology, there's a Target coming up, and some others, as I recall. But I just happen to always find things at Home because the prices are so low. But they do have very, modern pieces that follow the trends. Now this one is a ginger jar came out funny. Ginger jar for $29.99. There's also a larger jar and it's $49.99. So you could get both. I think you just need one if you were to do this. And you can use it as a vase and just put the lid away. I wouldn't prop the lid next to your ginger jar when you're using it as a vase. There's no point in doing that, but I mean, you can if you want. But a lot of people do that, and there's no reason to do that. I'm so judgy. All right, so let's take a look at the next item. This fabric and also this particular ottoman is one of the favorites from this collection from my own point of view, but also I think universally. And then this fabric did sell out in a pillow, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But I think this ottoman is stunning. You can see that it's not that taut with the fabric, and that's not great considering that this is $549 for one ottoman, but it still is wonderful. I love it. So I decided to try to search for a dupe for this, and I found something pretty good. This is from Target. It's by Threshold. Now the price is kind of steep on this as well, $250 versus the $549. But when you really do the math, you're saving $299 on the one ottoman. So think of it that way. But I still do have another alternative for you. I might stick it at the end of the video because it's not a dupe really. But anyway, I think this is beautifully done. It's not chinoiserie, but it does have that same effect with that very beautiful pale and sedated green, and then the other colors. There's still florals. We're just missing some birds that make it more like the Crevette one. Now this is a pillow cover in the same fabric. By the way, the fabric at Pottery Barn with Crevette is called Meadowlark, as you can see there. Now this sold out. It was very popular, and I have an alternative for you anyway. So if you missed your chance and you loved it so much, and I'm sure it was very expensive, I don't see the price now, I have something really great for you. Are you ready? This is a set of 4 pillows from Target, and the first one looked the most like the Crevette design, but it's a much darker green. But I like this dark green with the blue. Very nice. So we've got our chinoiserie theme here. Some of it's very over the top, going toward the Chinese theme. But I feel like if you had these pillow covers, it would look like your design is so much more interesting. Your house would look more interesting. It's really unusual, but I love them. Now, it says that it's waterproof. I read in the description that the waterproof aspect of it is new. I guess they used to sell them without whatever proofing they put on top of it. So I don't know if you can use these inside, but you certainly would have a stunning outdoor display of pillows if you bought these. I love these. And they're about $11 each when you do the math. This is the other ottoman I wanted to show you. It doesn't look exactly like any of the Crevette fabrics, but I did think it has sort of the same idea, but the price is so good. It's on sale right now at Wayfair for $169.99. But even when it's not on sale, the regular price of $189 is great. And this is so big compared to the others. It's 30 inches wide. So you could use this as your coffee table with what's it called? A tray on top to put the essentials. But I thought this was worth showing. I actually saw this on Amazon first, but then I found the lower price on or at Wayfair. In my search for that Dachshund sculpture that I showed you in the beginning, I noticed these sculptures at Anthropology. They're very petite and delicate. It's a set of 2 gold butterflies. And I just think that they, like I said about something else, they would make your design just look super interesting. But I like the way that they used it at the base of the vase as just a little something to, add into the curve at the bottom. I like that. Now there's so much detail on these and they're rather pointy, but it looks like a cute gift that you could do for maybe Mother's Day or a friend's birthday. I don't know if you do gifts for Galentine's Day. I don't with my friends, but let's say you did. These would be really cute. I put together a few mood boards so that you can see how some of these dupes look together. There are a lot of pieces that work in harmony and a lot of different combos. So if you did like anything that you saw and you're considering purchasing it, if you wouldn't mind using my tags and links, if you're having trouble finding them, they're usually at the top of the description box. And if you can't find them then, just hit the word more. I want to thank you so much for being here, and it's great that you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for doing that, and I hope that I'll have an opportunity to see you again at my channel next Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.